Hi, my name is Brooke.
And I'm Deb.
And this is Wine Together,
a podcast where we drink some wine and have a chat. Because we drink wine like regular people, with food, opinions, and absolutely zero pressure to sound fancy.
So sit back, relax, and get that corkscrew ready. Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, how about that, folks? We made it to 100 episodes.
Oh.
Did you want to say that?
No.
Oh, okay. So anyway, Brooke, what do you think about that? 100 episodes.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've been doing this right at 2 years.
Almost, yeah.
And so, well, by the time it's going to be exactly 2 years.
It's not been exactly 2 years.
It will be when this posts.
Oh, will it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
July. And so, right at 2 years, and I think, we've changed a few things. We kind of changed the way our focus, really, with the food and wine pairings, has been, that's been, 6 months or so. Is that? Or
January? Yeah, I think we submitted at the beginning of January.
So, and we really want to keep that going. We're going to try to find some unique food pairings, some unique ones that, some of you might not have access to, but gives you a good excuse to come visit Switzerland and try some of these wines. So we're really going to focus on some Swiss wines later in the summer, early fall. Be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And kind of Brooke will find a food pairing that doesn't necessarily have to be Swiss, but you'll find a good food pairing. I'm sure it'll include some cheese or chocolate. Mm-hmm. I hope chocolate. Yeah, but anyway, let's talk about 100 episodes. I mean, what did you think when we first started? Did you think, okay, what were you thinking?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't think you would want to stick with it.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know. You don't really stick with things.
I don't. You're right. I don't stick with things. There's always multiple things going on in my head, and it's just like that old saying, whichever dog you feed is the one that kind of lives the most. And so I've always got lots of things jumping around in my head, and it is hard for me to stick to one thing. But hey, so far we've done it for 100 episodes. Mm-hmm. And, we really want to celebrate this. So tell me, we did have a food pairing with champagne. I'll tell you why we celebrate with champagne after we talk about the food pairing, if that's okay.
Okay. So I did like an uncooked bruschetta. So I didn't want to do like regular bruschetta, but I also really wanted like mozzarella cheese.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, what if we did... Because I didn't do any research for it. I was like, well, this will be something that would go... I didn't think it paired very well with the champagne, but that's something we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, what we did was we got some bread. We put, mozzarella, we found a really nice tomato, and I cut some big round slices.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it like thinner because I didn't want to mess up the slices, and also I didn't want to cut my fingers off.
I agree.
I am not very good at cutting vegetables, so yeah. But yeah, I wanted to have that, and so what we did, we put some olive oil. I put some balsamic vinaigrette on mine. I thought it was really good. I think you're crazy for not wanting it on yours.
You know what? Your dad did too, and your dad loved it. But he loves olive oil and balsamic together. I mean, it's kind of, his go-to topping for a lot of things. Yep. And so, I'm not surprised that he loved it. And I'm glad that you did. I can see why that acidity from the vinegar and the tomatoes, I can see why it kind of clashed a little bit with the champagne.
Yep.
However, we also bought a cheap bottle of champagne. So, that's what we get. But, I mean,
if you can find champagne for less than 20 francs.
I know, it was less than 20 francs, and we thought, hey, it's champagne, less than 20 francs. And I still, I think the more I drink it, I'm a little more okay with it. But I agreed with your first assessment, which was?
It wasn't that great. It tasted like old apple cider. Not like apple cider, like old expired apple cider.
I felt I definitely felt an apple cider smell to it. Like when we first took a sip of it, I was like, I know this fragrance. I know this smell. And I could not put my finger on it. I could not figure it out. But I didn't get necessarily apple cider. I got more apple surely.
Okay, well, I think I got the cider just because it's bubbly, and cider is more fizzy usually.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah. But I definitely, I went straight to the Swiss thought, apple surely.
You know the Ramsire apple cider, that's what it tastes like.
Yeah.
Because we didn't like that apple cider very much either.
Which, I don't know, we made cocktails with it, so I like the
cocktails with it were good, but it by itself was not great.
It definitely is different. I mean, I definitely noticed the apple in it. I absolutely do. So, but, I guess, it's just whatever's at that vineyard. I don't know. So I'll have to look up this region of France and let people know in the show notes about this region, because I don't know anything about it. And so, but why do we celebrate with champagne, Brooke? What do you think? What do you think the geniuses say our reason for celebrating with champagne?
Champagne is really expensive, so it's like a fancy drink, right? So when you're celebrating, you want something fancy.
Okay, I think that you're spot on for a certain demographic.
Yeah.
Okay, because not everybody's going to feel that way.
Yeah.
But there is a certain demographic that I certainly fall into, that you fall into, it seems like, that thinks, it's a celebration. We need to do it, with glamour and fashion and something that, the others do, I guess is a way to say it. But and that is kind of part of it.
Yep.
Because it is celebratory. It is, it offers the bubbles and the fruitiness, and it hits so many sensory palates. So you have the fruity fragrances that you could also get from white wines, right? But you have that experience of the pop of the cork and the bubbles rising up, and then the bubbles spilling over in the glass if you pour it too fast. All those things. And we've seen lots of athletes celebrate with a bottle of champagne when they win. They shake it up, and they put their thumb in there, and they pull their thumb out, and it just goes everywhere. And so they have that spray. It seems fun. When you're watching other people shake up a bottle of champagne and kind of spray it out like a garden hose or whatever, that seems like fun. And they certainly look like they're having fun. But you know what? Most of them have just won lots of money, either a bonus or something like that. And so, when athletes do it, my first thing is, I'd be drinking that bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily throw it on, number 2 here. But I will say that watching Swiss skiing in the winter, when the Swiss win and they pop the cork on the champagne, almost all of them do take a sip. Like a gulp, not really a sip, a gulp. And that's fun to me, to see that they're not just spraying it out.
Yeah.
They're gulping it. But, I mean, they have these huge bottles of champagne that look like they're, 4 or 5 liters.
Yeah.
And so they have to hold it with 2 hands because, these things are huge. And so I think that that's kind of funny that they have these huge bottles of champagne. Funny that they're able to pop that cork. And it's so funny because it is funny when you look at a strong athlete and they can't get the cork popped.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
Oh, this one popped really easy.
Yeah, I noticed
I could have probably done it without the towel and just pulled it out. But I've done that a lot before, and you think it's crazy that I can do that.
I do think that's crazy.
Like no towel, I can just pop it out.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. I don't know. But it is funny. So anyway, it's kind of that sensory thing is why we kind of use it.
Yeah, because also when you pop it, champagne usually has a spray, not a spray, but a mist that comes out of it.
Yeah, and that's really kind of neat. I don't know if you remember our champagne bottle last year at our birthday.
Yes.
Okay, we were in London. And we stayed at Hotel 41, and they come out with champagne, and they asked me,
the sword.
Yeah, do you want rosé or the regular champagne? And I think I chose the rosé.
We had both, right?
We probably ended up with both, but yeah. But anyway, they have this big sword, and they come out there and they pop it, and then of course they go chase the cork down and then give it to you in this fancy little black sachet, and I'm thinking, wow, this is pretty cool, you know.
I want to learn how to do that with a sword, you know.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be around when you're practicing that, so whatever. But anyway, evidently there's some kind of, like, from the 18th century, champagne became the drink of choice for French royalty. And so that's part of it, you know, what you were saying. You kind of want to feel like, you know, that crowd, you know, you're celebrating something, you know, wonderful. And so, yeah, I mean, there's, you know, those things. And then, of course, that fizz, for me, and I think for a lot of people, it just gives the brain this reward, almost. So I love to feel the bubbles in my mouth, and it just feels, I feel like it just goes to my brain, it just, it's a happy feeling for me. But anyway, so what are some things you have celebrated with champagne other than our 100th episode?
Well, we sometimes, like, for our birthday, we'll get champagne. New Year's, obviously.
Yep, New Year's, yep.
I have sometimes, like, the little bottles of champagne when I'm here by myself because they're not expensive. I'll sometimes get one of those just for fun.
Yeah.
And one thing, like, on the running app that I'm using, one thing that, like, the coach says all the time is to, like, celebrate every win. So celebrate starting the run, celebrate being in the middle of the run, celebrate the end of the run, like, that kind of thing.
So you just start carrying little bottles of champagne in your running van?
No. Oh my gosh, that would be really bad. No, but, like,
it could be funny.
Like, it's okay to, like, just have a small celebration anytime. And so, like, that's fun. That's why I like being able to find the small bottles of champagne. Yeah. If the small bottle of champagne is on sale at Cope, it's usually, like, maybe 11 francs or less. Like, sometimes it's a little bit less. And I'll be like, well, I mean, if it's just a small bottle, yeah.
I agree with celebrating every victory. I have a victory to celebrate also, other than our 100th episode. In case y'all haven't figured out which number we're on today. I got back to running this morning. I was asked the night before, so we're going to try to get the points for the trail. I was like, oh, well, yeah, I need to run tomorrow. And, well, can we ride our bikes down to the trail and run on the trail? And, you know, my first thought was, I don't know. Well, I had a different thought, but I'm just going to say this. I don't know. And then I said, okay, fine. And then the question was, well, how far are we going to run? And I was like, well, you know, I wanted to start with 2.5 kilometers. And so my partner says, 2 kilometers? I said, okay, 2 kilometers. And so we rode our bikes down. So we ride, I think it's about maybe 3 to 4 kilometers bike ride to the trail. Ride the bikes to the trail, get everything, you know, helmets off and everything locked up, blah, 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 drink some water. And you have to walk down, you know, we were going, like at 1881, have to walk down those big steps.
Yeah.
Okay, so we walk down the big steps and we get right to the river's edge. And my running partner says, okay, when you're ready. Well, I had already started my run. And so I just took off. And I ran across those little things that are in the water. Oh, you know, it's like a video game. You really are running across these.
Oh my gosh! Every time I go on those, I feel like I'm gonna.
I have fallen in the water before. I have fallen in the water walking on those things. So I didn't know how I was going to run across it, but I just took off. And so I'm on the trail. We're jogging, and I thought I was hearing. And then I look and I see what you're talking about, the uprightness. You know, and so I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to keep going. So, you know, somebody runs from behind us well past us, like really fast. I mean, it was like that person was riding a bike, and I thought, okay, well, I look like a fool. But anyway, so we kept going, and we got, and then, you know, just before we got to 1 kilometer, before we turned around, we saw this other couple jogging. And, of course, they were very young, very fit. You know, they were really running, not jogging. So we turn around. When my watch hit 1 kilometer, I said, are we turning around? I said, does your watch say 1 kilometer? Well, no, but it's okay. Let's turn around. I was like, well, no, we can go till yours his one, no, let's turn around. So we turn around.
Mm-hmm.
And then, anytime you jog out and back,
Yeah.
you were saying it last week. When we jogged out and back, you said, don't worry, the run back is always easier than going out.
Exactly.
You told me that, and your words are in my head. So I'm jogging, and I'm thinking, okay, Brooke's telling me the run back is going to be so much easier. So I think I'm picking up pace.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell if I was picking up pace until I realized somebody else was behind me. And we didn't quite get to the running over the water on the stepping stone things. And he said, so you want to stop right here?
Oh.
I said, are you at 2 kilometers? Well, no, but don't worry about it. Because I had just hit 2 kilometers.
Okay.
And I was ready to run back over. He said, I just don't know if I can run over those things again without falling in the water. And it is kind of tricky. Those things are tricky. And like I said, I have fallen in that water before. My shoe slipped or something. And I went in the water. And the water's not deep. I twisted my ankle. It's not, it's not a fun thing. And so anyway, then I kept thinking about our run last week. Mm-hmm. Everything that happened, I thought about our run last week, and I thought, okay, yes, I still did. I don't think I was quite hitting as hard on my heel. Mm-hmm. But everything you said about my partner, I saw it. I saw this straight up, and I have some thoughts on that, but I'm not, Anyway, and then I saw my running posture, which. It's too forward. Yeah. But when I was clenching, again, heard your voice, I was clenching my fist, and so I softened my fist.
What I do is if I feel like I need to, I do my thumbs like this, and then I kind of make, and then one thing I saw, I think I sent you this video, there's this woman that does running drills on TikTok, and one thing she said was you're holding drumsticks.
Oh, okay.
It's a really good one, and so now that's why I like listening to music. Sometimes I'll to remind myself, I need to keep my hands relaxed, I'll start beating my drumsticks.
I felt my whole cadence change when I unclenched my fist. Yeah. And of course I didn't unclench till I was about a third of the way back. Yeah. We had already turned around, I was probably a third of the way back, and I was like, oh. And I looked down at my hands, and my fists were clenched. And so I relaxed like this. Not quite drumsticks, because I hadn't seen that video.
Which is fine.
But I just relaxed, and I had my fingers open. I could feel the wind going through my fingers. Yeah. I felt my cadence change. Yeah. I felt relaxed. Yeah. And I thought, okay, I got to do that from the start. Yeah. But I still could not find myself I still found myself hitting my heel.
That's okay. Sometimes I gotta, time.
I got to figure that part out. But it was a good run, and I was proud of myself for getting back out there. Yeah. So I'm celebrating that today. Yeah. Because, and I'll get back out there Monday, and I was telling myself today, you know what? It's not as far as I wanted to go. I'm not as far as I want to be. But I will get there. But, this heat, I can't. At my age, I can't run in this heat.
I know. I got up early to watch the game, and then it gave me the perfect ability, because there's, the time of the game, gave me the perfect way to, figure out the timing of when to finish my pre-breakfast, my bagel with peanut butter, when to drink all my water so that I don't feel bloated before going out on my run. It was really, really helpful. Maybe I need to put a football game every morning on when I'm...
Yeah, well, I will say, you saw what time I got up. I mean, it was past halftime when I got up.
It was 5
and
o'clock.
Then I immediately got my peanut butter slice of bread, and I didn't drink any milk. I wish I'd have drank some milk, but I had already had 800 mils of water. Yeah. And I knew I was wanting at least 400 more. Yeah. Because of how hot it is. Yeah. But I also took a bottle of water with me on my bike because I knew riding my bike down I was going to need water. Yeah. So I think I did get, probably close to 1,500, 1,600 mils of water beforehand. Yeah. And, but when I got to the trail, immediately I thought, oh God, I've got to go to the bathroom. And there's nowhere to go to the bathroom.
That happened to me this morning too. I go down to where I start my run, and I had to pee. But there's that wall behind it, so I just went behind the wall and went pee.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's also a trail across from there. But
well,
with
no,
the steps
it was everything. It was right by the river. It was the one on where the river.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's a trail on the other side of the river.
Yeah, but no one could see me. I mean, no one was coming the other way either because I wasn't completely out of sight.
Yeah, either. I mean, I was like, oh my goodness, so honestly, when I got on my bike, I thought, oh, I need to go back upstairs. Yeah. And I thought, no, I can't because we have a time limit.
Yeah.
We've got to get down there. We had set ourselves 15 minutes to get down there and park our bikes. We had set ourselves no more than 30 minutes for the run.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew 2 kilometers it would be less than 20 for me.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, well, even if I'm a little bit, because we were 5 minutes late getting started on the bikes. And so, but we did get down there, like 6:17, so it wasn't too late.
Yeah.
And then, but it took us a little while to get started with the run.
Yeah.
And so, so I'd say 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but then I thought, well, still going to be less than 20 minutes, so I'm not too worried about it. Well, it turns out, we stopped running early, so we were walking back to the parking lot where our bikes were.
Mm-hmm.
And then we stopped to drink water afterwards. And so it took, all that time that we had kind of said. And then we had like 14 minutes to get home, to be home by 7.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all uphill. The bike ride's all uphill from there.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm not going to be able to do it. So I said, if you have to go on, go on. I'll text Brooke and see where Brooke's at on her run. And if I have to let Brooke let me in, that's what I'll do. But anyway, I guess I was able to keep up with him. I do have a fast bike.
Yeah.
And so I was able to keep up on the bike ride. And we got here right at 7. Which means still not inside the apartment at 7 for him to get the shower and make his lunch and stuff like that. But I at least immediately got in here and got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it's my brain that says, oh, she thinks she's going to do something cool. Well, I'm going to show you. And then I have to go to the bathroom. My body just tends to fight that exercise. And I still have to lift some weights today. I'm not quite finished with my exercise today. I did get some walking in because I went to, a city that I absolutely love in Switzerland, Thun. And I kept looking for your friend that you made last year at your birthday, Ava. I kept.
Oh, yeah.
It's like every little short blonde girl I saw. I was like, is that Ava? But I did see a lady that looked like her but was older.
Yeah.
Like close to my age. And I thought, oh, that could be Ava's mom.
That would be funny.
Yeah. But, that's kind of funny. So anyway, Ava, hi, if you happen to remember to listen to us. But yeah, I love Thun. I love all the flowers in the spring and summer. And I love that castle because it looks just like a Disney castle.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't do the tour inside. She didn't want to do the inside tour, but we did the outside.
Really? Because it would have been so much cooler.
I know, and fun, but it's but that's okay because we went there. We took lots of pictures, and so she'll have pictures to show to friends and family. But from a distance, it looks just like some of the castles you'll see on Disney movies, and because it has the 4 turrets, and which I think we went in. Did we go in every single turret? When you and I went?
We did.
We went and looked at every single, which was so much fun. And so anyway, your dad was asking me on text message. I said, well, we're home. And he said, you're going to have to take me sometime. And I thought, well, we've walked up to the castle before.
Has he not?
He swears we haven't walked up there. I thought I had walked up there with him. I knew we hadn't gone in.
Yeah.
But I thought we had walked up and walked around the grounds. I really thought we did. But anyway, he says no. So I'm definitely going to have to go with your dad and take him to see the haunted staircase and the prison cells and all the kind of fun stuff that that castle holds. It is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of fun last year. We took so many funny pictures and stuff. Yeah, we had fun. And it was was it about this time last year that we went?
I think it was later.
Was it later? Okay.
Was it because this time of the year. No, it might have been before that. But this time of the year, last year, was not this hot.
No.
And it was hot when we went.
It was hot that day. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo. But, it's the city is so beautiful because it's really, the city is along the river. I mean, it's just along that river. Mm-hmm. It kind of actually, there's city on both sides of the river.
Yeah.
And you have the old city, the Altstadt. Mm-hmm. I guess, would that be the north side of the Aare? I don't know.
How long would it take to take the boat from Bern to Thun?
Can you do a boat from Bern to Thun? Because we'll do it.
I don't know. I think maybe. I
know that boats from Thun only go towards Interlaken.
Like our boat.
Oh, our boat. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Okay. You mean like the three of us, me, you, and Dad? Would you be willing to get in that boat with the two of us?
Yeah, but Dad won't do it. He doesn't like riding the boat anymore.
Yeah.
It's because he has to do all the rowing.
He does have to do all the work, and so.
But how long would it take? Would it take all day?
I have been told. I know people have done it. I don't think it's more than 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember, but they said the current's fast, and there are parts of it that kind of you feel like you're going over rapids. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure some people from Biogen have gone from Tune to Burn.
And if it's a gummy boat, we shouldn't have to get like a permit or anything,
No,
right?
you don't. You know, no. But a lot of people put in at Tune and go.
Is it Tune to Burn, not Burn to Tune?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, because I thought it would
I think it's
burn.
Tune to Burn.
Oh.
Because I'm pretty sure that's the direction of the current.
Okay.
Is Tune to Burn. Because it would be like it starts downriver interlocking and comes up to Tune, and Tune goes on to Burn.
And we couldn't go Burn to Solothurn then.
I don't think so. I don't think there is a way to legally take your boat from Burn to Solothurn.
Okay.
I think there are dams and other things in the way, so that I think that there's no way to do that. In fact, I don't even know if you can get to Olton on the boat.
Because I was like, then we could basically go
I know you
straight
can't
home.
get to Olton on the boat because you can't get past Luderbach.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because you couldn't get all the way to Luderbach?
You can get to Luderbach from Solothurn, but you can't get past Luderbach from Solothurn.
Okay, so it would be Solothurn to Burn and not Burn to Solothurn.
Yeah, it would be Solothurn to Burn.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the current. That's the direction of the current.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about in-between seasons. You know, just to me that seems long, and I'm not experienced enough. I wouldn't be comfortable enough leading that excursion. Definitely don't want to be the leader for that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we want to wrap this up. But first of all, we want to say thank you and shout out to a lot of people that have at least encouraged us and told us that they're listening or watching. So I'm going to start with my friend Tisha Evans. And, you know, I did get to see her just a few weeks ago. Chris Hill, my friend that, you know, listens and kind of pays attention. The guest speakers that have been on in the past year, we want to say thank you. Let's see, there are people who have reached out via email. I'm sorry I don't remember your names. But, you know, we want to shout out and say thank you. Our friend Carlene gave us some really good tips. That's kind of, you know, we went in that direction of finding a niche. We like the food and wine pairings, and we like that niche. We're going to really focus in on a niche, specialty niche, after our vacation this summer, which will be the Swiss wines with, you know, particular foods, not necessarily Swiss foods, but foods that, you know, pair well with these Swiss wines. Brooke's going to make a sangria. So, I'm really excited about that. That's, I think, probably be towards our end of summertime type thing. Really, really excited about that. So I can't wait. One, the recipe for the sangria, I can't wait till you make that. And two, I can't wait to find out what you are going to pair with it, because if it has something to do with that sauce you just bought the other day.
Maybe.
I'm really excited.
That sauce, I swear, I thought it was going to be more expensive. It was like $1 something.
Stop.
I'm pretty sure.
So excited about it. Anyway, yeah, our friends that have reached, our family, you know, especially my kids that, you know, have been so supportive in this. Ren, Mason, Justin, Amelia, you know, obviously Brooke. You know, thank you guys. I mean, you come on the show with us, and, you know, we've shared lots of stuff, and, you know, this is fun for us, and so we appreciate you having the fun with us. Obviously, your dad, you know, want to say shout out for that, you know, because he's been somewhat supportive in it, you know. I don't think he likes how public it is, but yeah, he'll get used to that, I think. You know, it's just something to get used to. My friend Caroline, and, you know, we appreciate all your support. You've always, you know, kind of been a good cheerleader for us. Yeah, who else, Brooke?
Crystal,
Crystal, absolutely. Thank you, Crystal. You know, she's been on with us, and I really should have named her when I said my kids, because you know I just think of her as another one of my kids. So
Yeah.
you know, she's pretty important. So yeah, and oh gosh, I know Raphael. That's who I was going to get to. Raphael. We appreciate him coming on. He got us some good port this year when he was in his home country of Portugal. So, yeah, very good stuff. So, you know, and hopefully we'll have some more guests on. Have some more guests on in the future. You know, because you know that's always fun. But I really am interested to see how guests would be with the food pairing that we're doing, because that means we got to have them over 2 times, right?
Yeah, which
They'd
means
have
we
to come
couldn't
over,
do.
right?
We'd have to have only people in our vicinity, which is
Right.
hard.
Yeah, that would be kind of hard.
Yeah.
But you know, it still would be fun, unless we could say, okay, go out and get this one if they could find it, and then and this is what we're pairing it with. If you can pair it with something similar, let us see how you do.
Yeah.
It would be an interesting concept to try to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Be fun, you know. Corey and Katie, thank you very much for supporting us, Jana, and we we're glad that y'all listen. And
We had Jackie on at one point.
yeah, Jackie, thank you. You know, I always borrow your coat. I appreciate it, girl. You know, I'm probably going to tell you when you do come visit, don't take your coat back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just been a lot of fun. And so hopefully there are going to be new listeners and viewers in the future. We're going to try to figure out how to get this out on more, you know, not necessarily on more platforms, but at least use the platforms to drive people to our YouTube channel and to our podcast on whatever platform they listen to podcasts. Over to you, Brooke.
That's all I've got. Is that all you've got?
I think that's all I've got. You sure you don't have anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, we've got other stuff to do. You know, it's still miserably hot in the Schweiz. Ugh. Whew. So we're kind of hoping that the summer, this is no indication of what our summer's going to be. We really hope that.
Is.
I'm looking for it to cool down and, you know, let's not go through this. But anyway, yeah. See you soon.
Yep. We'll be back next week with a new bottle of wine and a new food pairing. In the meantime, if you want to join the conversation, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Wine Together Pod. Join our Facebook group, Wine Together Podcast. And if you don't want to miss out on all of our regular weekly episodes, along with all of our bonus content, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as liking, subscribing, and commenting on our YouTube, Wine Together Podcast.